But anywho, happy Sunday, beautiful people. So there is a topic that I came across on TikTok about friendships and how it's important to be friends with confident people. And let me tell you, it struck a chord with me. I was like, this has been the theme of my life. And it's something that I'm being a lot more intentional about in my adulthood. And I thought, I need to share this with my girls. Like, I need to come on here and share it with you, beautiful ladies. So, here we go. Three signs to be able to tell if you are in a toxic friendship. Now, we like to pay attention to the fact that maybe our romantic relationships are toxic, but we give our friends a pass, I feel like, a lot more than like we might our partners or, that sort of thing. But feeling safe in your friendships is just as important as any other relationship in your life. We value what our friends have to say, we value their input, and a lot of the time, subconsciously, we model our life after them. So, what are these three signs? I'm going to give you the signs and then we'll get into more detail. One, if you find yourself walking on eggshells, if you're afraid of what you're going to say, if it's going to offend them, and you find this is a constant thing going on for you, you're probably not in a healthy, I'm not even gonna say may, more than likely you are not in a healthy friendship. So that's one sign. Another one, you're afraid to share good news. You have that friend where you're like, I can hang out with her, let her talk about herself, but if something great happens for me, I'm gonna keep it to myself. My love, it's not a good sign. You should feel safe in your friendships to share the great things that's happening in your life. So if you find that you can't, you might not be in a healthy relationship. The last sign that I want to talk about is discouraging growth. If you find that you have certain goals, dreams, aspirations, and when you share them with this friend, she's like, or he is like, I don't know, is that a good idea? And constantly listing all of the risks, that's a sign. That is a sign. So, all of these three signs combined, red flag, like major red flag, like the flag is in your face. The flag is in your face. Like, don't ignore the flag. The flags. The signs are there. So why is this something to look at, and how can this block your feminine energy? Well, the feminine energy is all about flow and play. It's about feeling, what's going on in your body, what feels good to you, and really pursuing that. If you are in a friendship or friendships where you feel like you have to hold back a certain part of yourself, then you're not in that flow state. So if you're not in that flow state, then your creativity is being blocked, your playfulness is being blocked. The things that make feminine energy what it is, they're not able to come to the light. They're not able to flourish. So let me get into the walking on eggshells piece. Your girl is I can be direct. Now, not all the time, but I can be a pretty direct person. Like, I'm just, you ask me a question, I'm going to be honest. And when I'm trying to quote unquote sugarcoat things, a lot of times people are like, what are you trying to say? Like, it seems like I'm trying to hide something, which I'm not. I'm just trying to put things in the most gentle way. So I have made those adjustments throughout my life because I do think it is important to speak with love and compassion and all of that. But I have found that even in me doing that, people still get offended by what I say. Mind you, I'm not saying anything that's insulting or anything like that. I'm just speaking truth. And to me, it's not a big deal. Like, it's just simple truth. Was I wrong in this situation? Yeah, you were wrong. Reevaluate, maybe you could do it this way. And to me, that's love. But some people, they don't like that. They don't want to hear it. So there are some friendships where I find that I am consistently trying to watch what I say. And I don't know if I say a joke, if they're going to be offended. I had to watch my tone. Like, literally, your girl has had to walk on eggshells with some people. And, it took me being around some other confident women to realize that this was not okay. I should be able to feel free. And the friends that I have, they should know my character well enough to know that I mean well, and that I'm gifted. Like, when I say truth, it's a gift, and I'm seeing something that they may not see, but they need to hear. So, them being able to receive it, swallow their pride, even if they don't want that truth, and find the gem in it is important to me because I need to be in spaces where my gift flourishes. That is the same for you. You need to be in a space where your gift can flourish, not where it's being stifled constantly, not where you're walking on eggshells, where you don't feel free to be yourself. None of that. That's not a healthy relationship. So I am inviting you to evaluate your friendships and ask yourself, are there certain friends where I'm constantly afraid that I'm going to say the wrong thing? If there are those friendships, then ask yourself, am I okay with staying in this friendship and constantly second guessing myself? Because I would encourage you to find people that receive your gifts, that enjoy them, that explore them, and that let them flourish so that your feminine energy can grow and so that you can be your best self. So that is so important. And I know that as I'm talking, I know I'm not the only one that's thinking about certain people that you might need to lovingly distance yourself from. Let me know what you think. You don't have to name the people. You don't have to name the people, but if you resonate with a certain example, let me know. So let me get to the next part. Afraid to share good news. Now, mind you, these are all experiences that I've had. I am not pulling from other people. I am pulling from my life. And I've had friendships where, like, I am so happy that maybe I'm leaving a job for another opportunity and I share the news with them and they sit there in silence. And their facial expression is stoic. Like, I can't, I'm like, did I upset them? Like, and this is me sharing something that's good, that's I'm excited about. So, I sit there in the moment. They change the subject, I flow with them, but I'm keeping this on my mind because when I leave their presence, I'm going to process this more and really decide if I want to continue to be around them, which I can tell you right now, those people who I've had in my life where I have shared good news and they have not shared in my excitement, they're no longer in my life. Definitely not at the capacity that they were in because they're not happy for me. And more than likely, there might be some jealousy there. Not that I want anybody to be jealous, but if someone is not happy with themselves, happy with where they are in life, they are not going to be able to be happy with where you are in life. So I found that sharing good news, they barely have anything to say back in response and they quickly jump into what's going on with them. I'm like, okay, now I know we got to share the floor, but come on, can it be my moment? Like, can it be my moment? So pay attention to that. Watch out for that. Now, the last one that I want to go dive deeper into is the discouraging your growth. I remember when I went to college, I had this friend who, I consider her my best friend. And I went to school. She didn't go to the school with me. She was working full time or whatever. And I'd be around her doing what I thought was my normal routine, like being my normal self, like, checking in, how you doing, and just whatever. And she would make the comment that I was changing. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I doing wrong? Or, oh my God, I'm changing. I shouldn't be changing. Like, I really found myself second guessing myself and trying to figure out, like, how was I changing? How was I not being a good friend? Or, all of that. Like, I was wondering what I was doing wrong. Well, now that I'm older and I'm able to look back at that time, I realize, yes, I was changing. I was in college. I was learning new things. I was growing into adulthood and my own identity as a woman and, navigating the world. Yes, I am changing. Why is that a bad thing? I should be changing and I want to change. I want to grow. So I realized once again, as time went on, that wasn't a healthy friendship. That friend really should have been celebrating my change. And sometimes when we see things in other people and we find that maybe a little bit of jealousy is coming up, or like I don't know if I'm feeling her. But you know how you can't really like pinpoint why you're not feeling somebody, and they're super nice to you. They've given you like absolutely no reason, and I mean no reason, to dislike them. Well, that might be a sign that maybe there's some jealousy, brewing. So you have a choice. You can either lean in and learn from that person and let it motivate you to grow and change, or you can sulk and be bitter and all that kind of stuff. So it's the same thing in our friends. Like, either they can see something about us and aspire to have it themselves, or to the left, to I don't know if it's no, I'm going to the right, to the left, to the left. They need to go on to the left. Like, don't stop my growth, don't stop my change. So you have to decide that you are not going to let them stop you from moving forward. So those are my signs. And I would love to hear from you ladies. Have you noticed any of these in your friendships? What have you done? And ultimately, I encourage you to choose yourself. Sometimes we try to hang on to friends because they've been our friends for years, or I grew up with them. Sometimes these are not just friends, but they're actually family members that we have a friendship with. And so it can be hard to separate from family and create that distance, but you have to really choose yourself. You got to choose yourself, and you have the right to choose yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. It is actually preferred choosing yourself, because then you're happier and then you can really impact the people around you and they could be so much happier. I know that y'all see like the memes where the moms are like so frustrated and they're yelling and like, oh my gosh, she's upset, and you're running and hiding, and it's funny, it's hilarious. However, it's a sign that somewhere in her life she's not putting herself first, and it is really impacting those around her, and she's a lot of times unpleasant to be around. So this is why it is imperative, my love, imperative, that you put yourself first, that you take care of your needs, you prioritize yourself, and you surround yourself with people who want you to do the same, who want to pour into you, who are doing the same for themselves, and fostering a healthy relationship with you and themselves, so that you keep growing, you keep glowing up, You keep doing all the things, all the things. So I want to answer a couple questions before we end. Let me look. Okay. Okay. I have my phone here too, so I can see the feed and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Hey, girl. All right. So the question is, what do I do if we have mutual friends? If I notice that I have a friendship with someone who's toxic, but we share a friend. Okay. Good question. Been in that situation as well. So what I do is you don't have to rock the boat. You don't have to, stop the other person from being their friend to create distance for yourself. So, what I have literally done is, maybe if everybody's getting together, I just don't participate in the group outing this time. Or maybe I just do like one-on-one things with people. And I don't have to necessarily bring up the other person that, I feel like is not healthy for me. I don't have to bring them up in conversation, but I create distance. I do more one-on-one things. And if I find that this mutual friend that we have is consistently trying to bring us all together, and maybe it's causing a little bit of confusion with that, then I might have to go ahead and have a conversation with that mutual friend. And I have done this, where I don't necessarily get into all the whys, and because I'm not trying to start drama, I'm not that girl. So I have the conversation with the mutual friend. I just say, hey, listen, there's a couple of things that's happened where I just want to create some space between me and person A, you know. So I just want to let you know so that you're not feeling awkward or anything like that, so that you understand why I'm choosing to just be around you. And that could be it. Now, this will let you know too if the person that you're talking to is a confident person, drama free, if they're able to receive what you're saying and respect your desires, more than likely that's a good friend. And if they're not able to respect what you're saying, then that might be another indication that the group is not confident. And, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. So, good question. Let me see. What is another question? Okay, what is the difference between being afraid of sharing good news and moving in silence? Okay, that's a good question. So when I think about moving in silence, I think about not wanting to share what you're working on until it's at a good place to be shared. Now, this sometimes is just necessary because, for one, you may not want to be someone who feels like you are doing a bunch of talking but no action. So giving yourself the opportunity to get the thing done and then show it, then that's okay. That's moving in silence versus I've got the thing done. I'm excited. It's worked out well, but I'm afraid to tell you. When there's a specific person that you're afraid to share the good news with, then that is when you might need to reevaluate that friendship. So the difference would be the timing of it. Moving in silence is typically when you're developing something, and sharing the good news is once that good thing has already happened. So that's how you can kind of differentiate between the two. So, all right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for coming on. Remember, you are beautiful and your feminine energy deserves to flow and shine bright like the sun that you are. So let it flow. If you notice these three signs in any of your friendships and you find that you're dimming your light, then I encourage you to find other people who are confident that want you to be confident as well and shine. Love you, ladies. Happy Sunday. Talk to you later.